nation's electoral umpire, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC's latest reform at deepening democratic culture is the online continuous voter registration. Society keen voters have applauded the long-awaited innovation and expressed optimism that the electronic voting process is not far in sight. Today on Panorama from Port Harcourt Network Center, we will take the umpire to task on modalities to make the exercise foolproof and possibly the desired e-voting process which the electorate in the country has been yearning for. I am Jenny Bassi. You're welcome. After the proposed rally was tactically managed, thereby averting another round of arson in Lagos State, residents are expressing appreciation to law enforcement agents for living up to expectations. Annie Daniels is standing by at Ganifayemi Park at Ojota to bring us an update. Hello, Annie.
Chief Studio, I'm here at the Ganifayemi Park, Ojota, venue of yesterday's Yoruba Nation rally that was averted at the Nigerian police for fear of being hijacked by hoodlums. And even as we speak now, the place is calm, the cars are just moving and people are going about their lawful duties. Nobody is troubled. And I have here a Lagos resident who will speak further on that.
We are quite fortunate that it didn't hold because of various reasons. We didn't know what may come up to it. It's better for the country to be at peace and in settlement. So it's better, because you cannot come and start fighting against the rule that the police has implemented, that whoever come out, they will arrest him. So it's good for everybody to just hold his peace and stay for everything to go normally.
As far as NSAS rally, people die, people lost their properties, the business is not moving. So if this thing will happen like that yesterday, I could have not heard.
It's expected that this peace will continue. From the Ganifayemi Park in Ojota, Lagos, I'm Annie Daniels and I return you now to the studio.
In the spirit of solidarity, love and oneness, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo joined the people of Kano State for the coronation of Alhaji Aminu Ado Bayero as the 15th Emir of Kano. The Vice President, who represented President Muhammadu Buhari at the occasion, describes Kano as a well-acknowledged commercial city, a melting pot for all people, and advised the new Emir to uphold the values the position stood for. State House correspondent Jide Onifade reports.
Who the cap fits, let him wear it, is a statement made popular by the late legendary Bob Marley in a song. And here, the people of Kano say the cap fits well on Alhaji Aminu Ado Bayero, their new choice for the position of Emir of Kano. Aminu Ado Bayero was decorated with the Kano traditional regalia, which is a symbol of the Islamic institution, by Madakin Kano and supported by Shamakin Kano and Baban Zagi. Thereafter, Governor Abdullahi Umar Ganduje presented the staff of office to the new Emir. While promising to lead by example, the new 15th Emir of Fulani called on the people to eschew violence and embrace peaceful coexistence with other nationals. He also advised the government not to neglect the role of being father to all through good governance.
We're all proud of this city, proud of its legacy of tolerance and warmth, and we're very proud indeed that it remains the home to all and for all Nigerians, regardless of tribe and ethnicity. Your Royal Highness, it is this great city over which God has given you the good fortune of being its monarch, a privilege which you know comes with the obligation of preserving the rich traditions of brotherhood of all tribes and tongues. But we are confident that by the grace of God, you will exceed the reputation of your illustrious forebears.
I urge the traditional rulers to continue playing their important role in keeping peace and stability.
And look forward to your contribution to uplifting the people of Kano Emirate in particular and the nation in general. I wish to assure you of my support for you.
The coronation of Aminu Ado Bayero as the new Emir of Kano was graced by other eminent personalities, including some state governors, some members of the National Assembly led by the President of the Senate, political office holders, and royal fathers from across the country. In Kano, Jide Onifade, NTA News.
Meanwhile, Sultan of Sokoto, Muhammad Sa'ad Abubakar III, has described patriotism, love and respect for one another among Nigerians as panacea to the prevailing challenges. He was speaking in Kano during the inauguration of executives of Intertribal Leaders Association of Nigeria. Abdullahi Mustafa reports.
It was a congregation of leaders of various ethnic nationalities from the 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory. They came together under the auspices of the Intertribal Traditional Leaders Association of Nigeria. It is a platform created to strengthen unity and brotherhood among Nigerians irrespective of their tribe or where they live. Inaugurated by the Sultan of Sokoto Muhammad Abubakar III and Kano State Governor Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, the association has as its president Eze Indibo Kano Boniface Ibekwe.
It is our fervent hope, therefore, to also achieve our vision of restoring peace and unity among all aggrieved ethnic regions.
The development Sultan Sa'ad Abubakar III believes gives hope of having a stronger and united Nigeria.
Reach out to people and listen to everybody. Listen to everybody's views. Respect everybody's view. There's no fight. Because misunderstanding is a very, very dangerous thing. And that's what's happening in this country.
We are clamoring in the constitutional review for a defined role for the institution to be recognized as fourth tier of government.
He also believes that constitutional approach is the best way to pursue or realize any regional agenda. In Kano, Abdullahi Mustafa, NTA News.
Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has opened its portal for the continuous online voter registration exercise newly adopted by the Commission. This comes as the voting public in the state hope these would serve as prelude to the adoption of the much advocated electronic voting system. Kingsley Amajiri reports.
The continuous online voter registration exercise introduces innovation to the nation's electoral system, which relevant stakeholders have been advocating as part of reforms to enhance the nation's electoral system. With this latest introduction by INEC, one can conveniently log on to the Commission's website to complete the ongoing continuous voter registration.
You can change virtually any information that there's a mistake on. It could be the spelling of your name, it could be the sex ascribed to you, it could be the date of birth, anything. And for people who also have lost the permanent voters card and want a replacement, they can also go online, apply, and then we will produce a new permanent voters card for them.
INEC is also not oblivious of those who may have challenges using digital devices and have equally made provisions for them.
But for people who cannot use any of those facilities online, they can come to our office anytime from July 19th and they will be attended to.
Stakeholders are pleased with the Commission for introducing this innovation, even as they called for caution against abuses.
If it will be done in such a manner, upon your voting, the parties everywhere you are, everybody will be seeing the result. There will be no fraud. It will be indeed a great and welcome development to our nation.
I also imagine or suspect a situation where this online registration can pave way for underage registration. I think that they should devise a means to checkmate, especially the area of multiple registration of those who have already gotten registration, voters register from another place using another biometric information.
Keen observers tasked the National Assembly to effect the amendment of the nation's Electoral Act that will see to the materialization of the e-voting system in Nigeria. In Port Harcourt, Kingsley Amajiri, NTA News.
And joining me in the studio now to discuss on this is the Rivers State INEC Resident Electoral Commissioner, Mr. Obo Efanga. It is my pleasure to welcome you on Panorama, sir.
Thank you very much.
Now, having listened to that report, what informed INEC's decision to adopt online system of the continuous voter registration exercise?
Okay, thank you. At every time, INEC is interested in ensuring that as many Nigerians that want to vote are able to do so. And the only way they can vote is for them to first of all register. And we are using every available means to ensure that that happens. Before now, this was only done in a physical manner. People came to our registration centers to register. But with the advantage of technology, we decided that in addition to the physical registration, people can actually start off some of these things online and then conclude it at the physical locations.
So how long will this exercise last, and what possible online platforms can eligible voters use for the exercise?
Okay, this will last for at least 1 year from now. So we expect that this will run until July or August of next year, depending on when we have to stop and prepare for the 2023 general election. And the platform for people to sign in to do this is cvr.inecnigeria.org.
Okay.
cvr.inecnigeria.org.
Okay, with the spate of internet fraud, is INEC conscious of possible abuses, especially the issue of underage and multiple registration?
Well, for fresh registrants, they will start off the process online, but they will conclude it physically in our locations. Now, even for the online registration, part of what you would do is to take your photograph online. And then when you come to the physical place for us to capture your fingerprints, of course at that point we'll see you physically. And if we have reason to doubt your age, then we'll ask that the potential registrant shows proof that he or she is up to 18 years of age.
So how do you handle the issue of availability of technology and power supply, especially for the illiterate voters and those in remote areas?
Yeah, for those who don't have access to the internet, they are still covered because there is the physical registration exercise will still happen from the 19th of this month. So those people can use that platform. The online platform is just an add-on for people who have that access to the internet. So people who use their phones, who have smartphones, and they use it even for banking services or for WhatsApp, can use register online.
Now, a lot of people do not trust INEC. Well, Nigerians. How will INEC, the people trust the process of INEC, given the fact that not everybody has access to internet?
Well, let's start with the trust issue. If people didn't trust INEC, we wouldn't have 84 million plus persons registered with INEC to vote, and will not have the number of people who have voted in previous elections. And people are also still coming up to register with us. When the portal opened, within the first 2 days, we had more than 150,000 people who have used the portal for that. Now, for the other things, the election will be as credible as everybody involved in the process putting their best to ensure that the election is credible. And for our part as INEC, we ensure, that is why we are starting this early, so that as many people as want to register will register. And we also are aware that there are people who registered previously and they need to update their information. Maybe they want to vote in a different location because they have moved from where they were staying before. And this online platform and the eventual physical continuous voter registration process allows them the opportunity to make those changes. So we are doing all we can to ensure that as many Nigerians as want to vote are given the access to vote.
Now, many are also of the view that electoral voting can also save Nigeria some money. How true is that?
It certainly would. But before you talk about electronic voting, you would also need to be sure that everyone can use that platform. And when we also talk about electronic voting, we need to have an understanding of what we mean. Electronic voting could mean that when you are voting, you are using a device. So when you come to a polling unit, you are voting using a device, a machine that you vote. You don't have need for paper documentation, but the electronic device, and your voting goes into the system, and that is counted. For some other persons, electronic voting means that you can sit wherever you are and vote with your own device. It's a step-by-step process. At any time that we are able to do that, given the level of development and infrastructure in the country, then that would be possible.
So that means you can stay at the comfort of your home and register without having to go to the office for any...
It depends on what you want to do. Now, continuous voter registration, there are a lot of things you can do. It is open for fresh registrants, people who have never registered before. For those people, they will complete majority of the things they need to do online, like 90% online. They will only come to our physical centers for the fingerprints to be captured, because that can't be captured online. And we also need to interface with these persons physically to be sure that these persons exist, so that somebody won't sit down and just register non-existing people. But for every other thing, people who want to make changes to their information, maybe the spelling of the name is wrong, they need to correct that, or the date of birth is wrong, they need to correct that, they are male, but our system says they are female, and vice versa. They can make those corrections. And people who want to vote in a different place, they need to transfer. All those ones can be done online without coming to our office.
Okay. Now, before I let you go, do you have any word for the people out there?
Well, it is that the online registration started last Monday on the 28th of June. And now they can continue registering until sometime next year, at least a year from now. And for people who do not have access to technology to be able to do that from their locations, they will have to come to our INEC registration centers when they open physically from the 19th of July, and they can do that.
Thank you very much, Mr. Efanga, for coming on the program. I have been speaking with the Rivers State INEC Resident Electoral Commissioner, Obo Efanga. It's now time to take a break. Panorama continues shortly.
The vaccine offers hope for a safe country free of coronavirus. I urge all state governments, traditional and religious leaders to take the lead in the mobilization effort within their environment and spheres of influence. I similarly urge all eligible Nigerians to present themselves and be vaccinated in accordance with the order of priority already mapped out at the various authorized designated centers only.
Welcome back, and now to COVID-19 update. The Nigerian Center for Disease Control, NCDC, has announced 71 new cases of COVID-19 in Nigeria. The latest figures released bring the total number of confirmed cases to 167,803 infections in the country. A breakdown of the new cases are from 4 states, which indicates that Lagos recorded the highest number for the city with 63,104, and Ogun recorded 3 cases. The days daily is completed by Kano State recording 1 new case, with the latest development 164,378 total cases have been treated and 2,121 patients died, unfortunately. Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Sadiya Umar Farouk, has flagged off the distribution of engagement letters and devices to 49 independent monitors under the National Social Investment Program held in Calabar, Cross River State Capital. Achibombasi reports.
Oyanga, Ojo, Ifungpa, Owai communities have vast forest reserve. The area is also known for the cultivation of farm produce ranging from plantain, banana, and more. But getting these crops to the larger markets has always been a Herculean task due to the devastating effects of erosion in the area. With this intervention project, members of the community say this has not only become a thing of the past, but the project will attract development to the communities.
It helps us because it is very easy now for us to take our agricultural resources outside to sell to the urban area. It's a thing of joy.
While inaugurating the project, Minister of State Power says the project underscores the federal government's efforts in tackling problems of its citizens.
Further intervention will come, but let us watch what we do with this one first. If you misuse this one, no other one, they will not be encouraged to bring more.
For the initiator of the project and former head of the Civil Service of the Federation, Mrs. Winifred Oyoita, and the project's execution team, actualization of this project is in fulfillment of a promise made to the people.
It's the second of the projects which I put forward to the Ecological Funds Office. The first one was also successfully completed.
The main thing that we are into intervention, trying to come into situations where there are difficulties to ameliorate and help people to come out of troubled times.
The inauguration and handing over of the project will enable host communities achieve sustainability of the intervention work. In Calabar, Justina Etam, NTA News.
For that mix-up, that was actually Justin Item and not Achibombasi. And now to tax matters. Taxpayers have been urged to embrace the new tax administration of the Federal Inland Revenue Service known as Tax Promax to ease tax compliance. FRIS South Coordinator Hamisu Mohammed Ibrahim gave advice during an appreciation visit on an indigenous company, Panorama Petrochemical, that has embraced the solution and remitting over 14 billion naira to the federal government. Joy Uzo reports.
In a bid to improve the quality of Nigeria's tax administration and performance, the Federal Inland Revenue Service has been initiating new solutions and softwares. Latest is the Tax Promax, that, amongst other features, enables taxpayers to generate an obligatory document identity number, DIN, before they can make remittances. This laudable initiative is generating compliance in Rivers State, with an indigenous company, Panorama Petrochemicals, among the first to embrace the solution and remitting its backlog to the federal government, thereby eliciting a commendation visit from the FIRS team.
We really had no doubt on the performance of the tax promise so far because the company, as you had, Indorama, said that it was seamless. They started Saturday. By Monday morning, they filed over 14 billion naira on the platform. And there is nothing that could be so better than this. And this is a testimony that there is nothing wrong with the software, though any software developed will have one or two challenges, but as you use it, you get used to it, and all the problems will be cleared out.
Tax Promax is very robust
very user-friendly, and we have been able to file the income tax returns in time. We have been able to make the payments before 30th June. Hence, we find that is a user-friendly software, and it guides the user seamlessly to comply with the laws of the tax law.
The Tax Pro Max solution, which also enables a seamless registration, filing, payment of taxes, and automatic credit of withholding taxes, amongst others, is viewed by stakeholders as user-friendly, transparent, and would boost revenue generation to the federal government.
A lot of taxpayers are going to key into it, and there'll be free flow of revenue. It's so most of transactions are likely to be covered. And so the long and short story is that there's going to be revenue accruing to government.
Taxpayers have till the end of this month to transit to this new tax solution. In Port Harcourt, Joy Uzo, NTA News.
For sports update, let's join Olalekon Kilajolu for sports update.
Reactions continue to trail Nigeria's Super Eagles' 4-0 loss to Mexico in an international friendly decided Sunday morning in Los Angeles. Atletico Madrid star Hector Herrera scored a brace, with Jonathan Dos Santos making it 4, after Rogelio Funes Mori had scored in between Herrera's double to end a 4-0 defeat.
This was a match prosecuted majorly by the home-based players, but they could cover themselves in glory. You think in a stadium that is over 75,000 capacity, they would have a chance to showcase themselves to the whole world, but it wasn't to.
In another game, England took a huge step towards making it to the finals of the ongoing Euro 2020 with a 4-0 defeat of Ukraine in the quarterfinals. Harry Kane scored a hat-trick within the 50 minutes of the game before Jordan Anderson made it 4 in the 63rd minute to secure a semi-final ticket for the Three Lions. Earlier, Denmark defeated hard-fighting Czech Republic by 2-1 to also scale through to the semi-finals. The Euro 2020 enters semi-final stage Tuesday with Italy taking on Spain, while Denmark have a date with England on Wednesday to determine finalists in the competition. In Copa America, Argentina beat Ecuador 3-0, while Colombia edged out Uruguay on penalties 4-2 after a goalless draw. Peru faced Brazil in semi-finals on Tuesday, while Argentina and Colombia slug it out in the other semi-finals on Wednesday. With sports updates, Olalekan Kilajolu, NTA News.
The size of Panorama here in Port Harcourt continue to join NTA in the fight against rape and rapists. We thank you for watching. Good afternoon.